So what could possibly be so bright at an already well-lit time of day?
Throughout the history of the human race, as well as the larger history of the universe, there have been a number of extraordinary events that are challenging to explain or predict. Other occurrences are predictable and expected, but definitely astonishing and marveling. Nature can produce events that sometimes feel magical or unbelievable. From unexplainable events such as strange rains, mysterious objects falling from the sky, and rare meteorite finds to unusual cosmic phenomena, Mother Nature always seems to have one trick up her sleeve. These events encourage curiosity and wonder about the natural world, blurring the lines between what is familiar and what is extraordinary. Why don't we look at the events that astonished everyone with their incredible and yet life-threatening presence? The Fukang Meteorite in China. World-renowned as the most spectacular example of natural cosmic splendor, the Fukang Palisite will undoubtedly become one of the greatest meteorite discoveries of the 21st century. Palisites are extremely rare, even among meteorites. Only about 1% of all meteorites are this type, and of the meteorites, they are by far the most alluring. This awe-inspiring main mass weighs over 810 pounds, over 370 kilograms. The Fukang meteorite was found in the mountains near Fukang, China in 2000. It is a palisite, a type of stony iron meteorite with olivine crystals. It is estimated to be 4.5 billion years old. Part of the Fukang Meteorite Natural History Museum, Vienna. It is a 36 by 19-inch polished face, providing a window into its wondrous mosaic of extraterrestrial crystals. This unparalleled discovery is an astounding treasure, a phenomenal and prestigious centerpiece for any natural history exhibit. While the Fukang meteorite left us all in disbelief, with many wondering about its cosmic beauty, as we all know, not all celestial visitors are as elegant. Just a few years ago, the villagers in Gujarat, India, a few thousand miles from China, found themselves bewildered as fragments of space junk rained down. What was this abnormal trash storm? Falling space junk in Gujarat, India. Villagers in Gujarat got confused and curious as fragments of suspected debris fell from space at 3 locations: Balej, Kambolaj, and Rampura. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the incident attracted a lot of attention from both locals and scientists. In January 2020, a bizarre incident occurred when debris from space fell to Earth in the village of Lakshmipura. This debris, believed to be from a satellite or rocket, caused quite a commotion in the local community. The space junk included metallic fragments and other pieces that landed in a field. These pieces were part of space objects that had broken up upon re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. When the debris was discovered, they were collected by authorities for analysis. Scientists wanted to understand where the junk came from and their impact. Such events often help to study such incidents and to learn more about how space objects behave when they fall back to Earth and to ensure the safety of people and property. Worm rain in China. The video of the alleged incident, posted on March 11th, is doing the rounds on social media, with people speculating for a logical reason that could explain the erratic rains. Reports said that people could be seen carrying umbrellas to save themselves from getting hit by worms falling from the sky in China. The event lasted for about 2 hours and covered a small area of the city. The reason behind the worm rain is not known yet. However, the scientific journal Mother Nature Network suggests that the slimy creatures were dropped after being swept up by heavy winds. This video, which was shared widely on social media, showed that in China, it was raining worms. The video from the capital city of Beijing showed roads and vehicles covered with what seemed like worms. According to the periodical, it is also noted that this type of occurrence happens after a storm when insects are caught up in a whirlpool. The Chinese government's authorities have not yet verified the causes. Some claim that the reports are false. Others back it up with evidence from science. They claim that while it is an uncommon occurrence, it is not impossible. The phenomenon is known as earthworm rain, alien meteorite in Namibia. This meteorite was unlike any other meteorite ever found on Earth. It was discovered in 1920 on Hoba West Farm, located 19 kilometers west of Grootfontein in northern Namibia. The Hoba meteorite dropped from the sky less than 80,000 years ago and has never been moved. The Hoba meteorite is considered to be the largest natural piece of iron on Earth. Its composition is actually about 82.3% iron, 16.4% nickel, and 0.8% cobalt. The meteorite once weighed as much as 66 tons, but scientists and souvenir hunters have chipped away bits of it over the years. Birds free fall in Chihuahua. A security camera captured the moment when scores of birds suddenly fell from the sky and died in northern Mexico. The video showed a flock of yellow-headed blackbirds hitting the pavement in Chihuahua, about 230 miles south of El Paso, Texas. The incident showed the birds dropping to the ground in what appeared to be a dramatic and mysterious manner within seconds. Although most of the birds flew back up, many were found dead on the ground, their bodies a mix of black and yellow. While many of the birds that were headed south from Canada, where they had spent the winter, recovered from the fall and flew away, dozens of them were dead and did not move. This strange event quickly went viral online, leading to various theories about its cause. Local authorities could not immediately pinpoint a cause for the birds' sudden death, but a veterinarian suspected the birds either inhaled toxic fumes from a heater or might have fallen victim to nearby power lines. Other theories about these phenomena are that the birds might have been electrocuted after hitting a power line. Others suggest more far-fetched ideas like interference from 5G technology, or even a collision with an invisible spaceship. While the sudden fall of birds in Chihuahua raised eyebrows and sparked wild theories, another cosmic event left a lasting mark in British Columbia. The Tagish Lake meteorite's dramatic descent offers yet another glimpse into the mysteries of our universe. Meteor at Tagish Lake. The Tagish Lake meteorite fell at 1643 UTC on the 18th of January 2000 in the Tagish Lake area in northwestern British Columbia, Canada. Fragments of the Tagish Lake meteorite landed upon Earth after a large meteoroid exploded in the upper atmosphere at altitudes of 50 kilometers, which is approximately 31 miles, with an estimated total energy release of about 1.7 kilonewtons of dynamite. Most of the stony, carbonaceous fragments landed on the Taku arm of the lake, coming to rest on the lake's frozen surface. The passage of the fireball and the high-altitude explosion set off a wide array of satellite sensors as well as seismographs. The local inhabitants described the smell in the air following the airburst as sulfurous, and many first thought the blast was caused by a missile. The meteorite was unique because it broke apart into many small fragments as it entered Earth's atmosphere, creating a shower of space rocks. These fragments landed in a snowy and icy area, which helped preserve their original condition. Scientists were excited about this because the meteorite is a rare type called a carbonous condit. This type contains valuable clues about the early solar system and the building blocks of life. Researchers have studied the Tagish Lake meteorite to learn more about its composition, including organic compounds and minerals that can shed light on the origins of the solar system. The Wincham Meteorite. It is unusual for Wincham to make the national news, let alone international media and TV, but the Wincham meteorite's arrival on the tarmac driveway of the Wilcock family in Wincham in February 2021 achieved just that. The Wincham meteorite is a carbonaceous chondrite meteorite that was observed entering the Earth's atmosphere as a fluorescent green fireball over Gloucestershire, England, on the 28th of February 2021. Due to a public appeal, fragments were quickly recovered from the village of Wincham, enabling them to be collected for analysis before becoming degraded. The Wincham meteorite, which fell to the ground in Gloucestershire in the UK after blazing a trail through the night sky on Feb. 28, 2021, came from an asteroid that had been heavily altered by water as well as smashed apart and reformed multiple times. A total of 602 grams worth of material was collected in total. Despite its fire-forward journey, the Wincham meteorite fragments are as pristine as one could hope for. Contained within the meteorite's composition is its secret history that scientists can tease out with sophisticated transmission electron microscopy and techniques such as electron backscatter diffraction, time of flight, secondary ion mass spectrometry, and atom probe tomography. This next occurrence was bizarre and puzzling, as no one in the world could ever expect to wake up one morning and see blood raining down from the skies. Blood rain in Kerala, India. A red rain phenomenon occurred in Kerala, India, starting in July 2001, in which the rainwater appeared colored in various localized places that are spread over a few hundred kilometers in Kerala. Maximum cases were reported during the first 10 days, and isolated cases were found to occur for about 2 months. The striking red coloration of the rainwater was found to be due to the suspension of microscopic red particles that appeared to be biological cells. These particles are not similar to the usual desert dust. An estimated minimum quantity of 50,000 kilograms of red particles has fallen from the sky through red rain. An analysis of this strange phenomenon further shows that conventional atmospheric transport processes like dust storms cannot explain this phenomenon. The electron microscopic study of the red particles shows fine cell structure, indicating their biological cell-like nature. EDAX analysis shows that the major elements present in these cell-like particles are carbon and oxygen. Strangely, a test for DNA using the ethidium bromide dye fluorescence technique indicates the absence of DNA in these cells. In the context of a suspected link between a meteor airburst event and the red rain, the possibility of the extraterrestrial origin of these particles from cometary fragments is discussed. In this next video, a scene like that of a horror movie is surely going to leave you looking under your bed every night before you sleep. Spiders falling from the sky in Brazil. All over the internet, there was a video that captured a strange phenomenon in Santo Antonio da Platina, Brazil, where a group of social spiders appeared to be raining down from the sky. Summer in southeast Brazil has brought soaring temperatures and some disconcerting eight-legged visitors. Residents in a rural area of southern Minas Gerais state have reported skies raining spiders, a phenomenon that experts say is typical in the region during hot, humid weather. The phenomenon is usually observed during a specific weather pattern, often linked to strong winds or thunderstorms. Scientists believe that this spider rain happens because of powerful updrafts and tornado-like conditions that can lift spiders into the air. These spiders are then carried over long distances before eventually falling back to the ground. The spiders themselves are often small and not harmful to humans, though their appearance in such large numbers can be quite startling. Another occurrence that will amaze you is the Marfa Lights. The Marfa Lights, or Marfa Mystery Lights as some call them, are a top reason to visit Marfa, drawing visitors from around the globe for a chance to see these unexplained phenomena. Accounts of the strange spectacle just east of Marfa began during the 19th century and continue to this day. The Marfa Lights, also known as the Marfa Ghost Lights, are a light phenomenon regularly observed near Marfa, Texas in the United States. First reported in the 19th century, these lights have intrigued locals and visitors for over 100 years. They are seen in the desert plains, usually at night, and can range in color from white to red to orange. The lights sometimes blink or move around, and they appear without any clear source of illumination. Scientists and researchers have studied the Marfa Lights, but they haven't found a definite explanation. As the mysterious Marfa Lights continue to puzzle and enchant onlookers, another astronomical enigma looms in history. This massive explosion in Siberia reshaped our understanding of cosmic impacts on Earth. The Tunguska Event. Termed as the largest impact event on Earth in recorded history, though much larger impacts occurred in prehistoric times, the Tunguska Event was a massive explosion that happened in 1908 in a remote area of Siberia. On June 30th, people living far away heard a huge blast and saw a bright flash in the sky. The explosion was so powerful that it flattened around 2,000 square km of forest, knocking down about 80 million trees. Luckily, the area was sparsely populated, so there were no confirmed human casualties. Scientists believe that the blast was caused by a large meteorite or comet exploding in the Earth's atmosphere before it hit the ground. The explosion released energy equivalent to about 10-15 megatons of TNT, making it one of the most significant natural explosions in recorded history. The event was so enormous that it could be felt across Europe and Asia, and it took decades for researchers to study it thoroughly. Taos Hum. Another strange anomaly is the Taos hum. When researchers took a good look into the Taos hum in the early 1990s in Taos, New Mexico, they indicated that at least 2% could hear it, each hearer at a different frequency between 32 and 80 Hz, modulated from 0.5 to 2 Hz. Similar results have been found in an earlier British study. Based on a survey of residents, about 2% of the general population was believed to be hearers, those who claimed to detect the hum. Sensitive equipment was set up in the homes of several of the hearers, measuring sounds and vibrations, but after extensive testing, nothing unusual was detected. A variety of theories have been offered as an explanation, ranging from the mundane to the fantastic, the psychological to the paranormal. Stoned hippies, secret government mind control experiments, underground UFO bases, and everything in between have been blamed. Spaceship junk in Australia, a large object found on the shores of Western Australia a couple of weeks ago, has been confirmed to be the debris of an Indian Space Research Organisation rocket. ISRO has agreed with the assessment, saying the debris could be from one of its Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle rockets. The colossal canister sparked many theories after it was spotted on the coastline around 150 miles from Perth. A mysterious large object discovered on an Australian beach has been identified as debris from an Indian rocket. Dr. Alice Gorman, a space archaeologist from Flinders University, noted that while components of space rockets often have serial numbers, they can also be identified by their appearance. The ASA is working with India's space agency to decide what should be done with the debris, considering international space treaties. According to the United Nations, countries should return foreign space objects found in their territory to their owners. However, Dr. Gorman mentioned that retrieving the debris might not be beneficial for India in this case. Falling iguanas in Florida. You may have heard the term falling iguanas, but have you ever wondered why this phenomenon occurs and when it typically happens? Iguanas are cold-blooded reptiles, which means their body temperature is regulated by the environment around them. When temperatures drop below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, these creatures can become immobilized or even stunned due to the cold. As they perch on tree branches, the frigid conditions can cause their limbs to stop functioning, leading them to lose their grip and tumble from the trees, often appearing lifeless upon impact. At night, iguanas tend to sleep in the safety of trees. If morning temperatures are chilly enough to induce a state of suspended animation, it can cause them to lose their hold on a branch, resulting in a fall as they succumb to the pull of gravity. Once temperatures dip into the 40s, iguanas may become completely immobile, making it possible for them to fall out of trees without warning. Wildlife experts advise against touching these fallen iguanas as they are not truly dead. They simply need time to warm up before they regain their mobility and return to their normal activities. Eventually, as the sun rises and temperatures rise, these remarkable reptiles will begin to move again, continuing their life in the wild. While falling iguanas in Florida might prompt puzzled looks and concern, another astonishing weather phenomenon has captivated residents in Honduras for over a century. What if I told you that fish were falling from the sky? Would you believe me? Let's explore this extraordinary spectacle and the science behind it. Fish rain in Honduras. The phenomenon known as rain of fish, or aguacero de pescado, which translates literally to downpour of fish, is a remarkable event that has been occurring annually for more than a century in the town of Lloro, Honduras. During this extraordinary phenomenon, it is reported that fish seemingly fall from the sky, creating an astonishing spectacle for the local residents. This unusual occurrence can happen up to 4 times in a single year, captivating the imagination of both locals and visitors alike. There is indeed a plausible scientific explanation behind this curious event. It is believed that waterspouts, which are tornado-like columns of air, can suck fish from the ocean and subsequently fling them onto the land, specifically onto Lloro. This explanation has gained traction as the prevailing theory not only for the rain of fish, but also for various instances of raining animals across the globe, which have included creatures such as frogs, jellyfish, and even snakes. The phenomenon has been consistently reported during heavy rainstorms for over a century and is locally referred to as Lluvia Deis, or rain of fish. During these remarkable rainfalls, people in the area often find fish scattered across the ground, typically small varieties like tilapia, and in astonishingly large quantities. Scientists suggest that these fish are likely swept up by strong winds or tornadoes originating from the nearby ocean, carried over land, and then dropped back down when the storm weakens. Despite the various theories put forth to explain this phenomenon, the exact cause remains somewhat elusive, leaving it as one of nature's many enduring mysteries. The rain of fish in Euro serves as a fascinating reminder of the unexpected and often wondrous events that can occur in our world, inviting further exploration and curiosity about the natural forces at play. The Diatlov Pass incident. This is an event in which 9 Soviet hikers died in the northern Ural Mountains between February 1st and 2, 1959, under uncertain circumstances. The experienced trekking group from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, led by Igor Diatlov, had established a camp on the eastern slopes of Kholat-Syakhl in the Russian SFSR of the Soviet Union. Overnight, something caused them to cut their way out of their tent and flee the campsite while inadequately dressed for the heavy snowfall and sub-zero temperatures. The hikers might have been disoriented by a natural phenomenon like an avalanche or a wind phenomenon. Despite numerous investigations, no conclusive explanation has been found. The case remains one of Russia's most intriguing mysteries. The Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights were a series of widely sighted unidentified flying objects observed in the skies over the southwestern U.S. states of Arizona and Nevada. On Friday night, October 28, 4 bright lights were seen and videotaped during a high school football game in Scottsdale, Arizona, near Phoenix. The strange lights, which were seen by hundreds of people and videotaped by at least 2 of them, seemed to move slowly in the sky, sometimes blinking randomly. The entire sighting lasted for about a minute and a half. Several explanations were given to explain the mysterious lights, ranging from helicopters to camera lens flares, but of course the favored explanation was spacecraft. Did we finally have good video proof that aliens are visiting mankind? Purple Sun in the UK. The UK experienced a stunning sky show due to powerful solar storms alongside the familiar aurora borealis, a unique purple light phenomenon. Weather watchers sent in vivid images from the North Yorkshire coastline all the way down to Dorset, capturing the unusual weather conditions. According to Sarah, this is partially due to the optical illusion of the pink wavelengths lighting up the base of the cloud due to the low angle of the sun's rays and these pink clouds superimposed on a dark blue sky. The combination of pink and dark blue can make the sky appear a deep purple. It has been said this effect occurs when charged particles from solar storms known as coronal mass ejections (CMEs) interact with Earth's magnetosphere. The protective magnetic field surrounding the planet is based on results from hot rivers of gas flowing through Earth's magnetosphere at very high speeds. These hot gas rivers are energized by strong geomagnetic storms. The spectacular show was first discovered by amateur scientists in a project called Auroras, who initially named it Steve as a placeholder. While the stunning purple skies in the UK dazzled with the beauty of solar storms, a much less pleasant event left its mark on London's history: the Great Stink. The Great Stink was an event in central London during July and August 1858, in which the hot weather exacerbated the smell of untreated human waste and industrial effluent that was present on the banks of the River Thames. The smell was so bad that it was blamed for illnesses among the upper-class A's per some reports. The stench caused citizens miles away to throw up whenever the wind changed and eventually led to the development of the London sewage system. By the dawn of the 19th century, London's population had outgrown the capacity of the existing sewer system, which had served the metropolis since the 1600s. Open drains and cesspits overflowed with fetid refuse from humans and animals. These open drains were a serious public health hazard. Cholera was rampant. The appalling conditions finally spurred the government into action, leading to significant public health reforms and the construction of a new, comprehensive sewer system designed by Sir Joseph Bazalgette. This infrastructure overhaul not only tackled the immediate olfactory offense, but also played a crucial role in mitigating the spread of diseases. The Great Stink marked a turning point in urban planning and public health. In growing cities. Brown Mountain Lights. The Brown Mountain Lights are purported ghost lights near Brown Mountain in North Carolina and Brown Mountain in Pisgah National Forest, not far from the Linville Gorge. Brown Mountain Lights have been reported for more than 100 years, with some saying they look like stars, and others like glowing orbs that may move or float above the ridge and can appear in many colors. Government researchers who investigated the Brown Mountain Lights attributed them to train headlights or newly electrified homes situated on the ridge, and others have suggested various natural explanations, such as brush fires or bioluminescence. However, these explanations have not satisfied those who believe something more mysterious is at play. The mysterious origin of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are a group of deities of the ancient Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. The Anunnaki were believed to be in charge of the Sumerians' fates. Many myths involved members of the Anunnaki passing judgment on humans. Additionally, the gods were described as children of the earth and sky. One of the most intriguing theories about the Anunnaki is that they might not have been just mythical gods, but actual extraterrestrial beings. The Anunnaki are often linked to the ancient city of Nippur, where many of their stories were recorded on clay tablets. According to the myths, the Anunnaki were powerful beings who influenced the world and human affairs. This idea suggests that they visited Earth from another planet or star system. Some people believe that these beings helped develop early human civilizations by sharing advanced knowledge and technologies. The Bloop. Bloop was an ultra-low-frequency, high-amplitude underwater sound detected by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, in 1997. Earlier speculation that the sound originated from a marine animal was replaced by NOAA's description of the sound as being consistent with noises generated via non-tectonic cryoseisms originating from glacial movements such as ice calving or through seabed gouging by ice. According to the NOAA description, the sound rose in frequency over about 1 minute and was of sufficient amplitude to be heard on multiple sensors at a range of over 5,000 kilometers. Numerous ice quakes share similar spectrograms with Bloop, as well as the amplitude necessary to detect them. This was found during the tracking of iceberg A53A as it disintegrated near South Georgia Island in early 2008. The iceberg involved in generating the sound was most likely between Bransfield Strait and the Ross Sea, or possibly at Cape Adair, a well-known source of cryogenic signals. Sounds generated by ice quakes are easily determined through the use of hydrophones, since seawater, an excellent sound channel, allows the ambient sounds generated through ice activities to travel great distances. Washington, D.C. UFO incident. Another very unusual event that was recorded in history happened from July 12 to 29, 1952. A series of unidentified flying object sightings were reported in Washington, D.C., and later became known as the Washington Flap, the Washington National Airport sightings, or the invasion of Washington. The first incident occurred before midnight on July 19th, when an air traffic controller at what was then Washington National Airport reported 7 unexplained radar blips, including over the White House and Capitol. Radar experts theorized that the culprit in D.C. might have been a temperature inversion, in which warm air sits atop cooler air, trapping it. This can invert radar too, causing it to bounce off that ceiling and make objects on the ground appear to be in the sky. Some feared it was an advanced aircraft from Russia. The Air Force first said it had no idea what the blips were. Later, it suggested a temperature inversion had produced the phenomenon. Other experts challenged that explanation, according to the Post. Almost 71 years later, it remains yet another mystery floating around Washington. Do you think aliens are real, or are these just fantasies? Leave a comment below. As the mystery of unidentified flying objects hovered over Washington, D.C., another baffling phenomenon emerged in the English countryside. This peculiar event from 1855 continues to spark intrigue and speculation, leaving us to wonder what truly lies beneath the surface of our understanding: the devil's footprints. Last on our list of baffling occurrences is the Devil's Footprints, a phenomenon that occurred during February 1855 around the Exe estuary in East and South Devon, England. After a heavy snowfall, trails of hoof-like marks appeared overnight in the snow, covering a total distance of some 40 to 100 miles. The impression of the foot closely resembles that of a donkey's shoe and measures from 1.5 inches to, in some cases, 2.5 inches across, here and there appearing as if the foot was cleft. But in the generality of its steps, the impression of the shoe was continuous and perfect. In the center, the snow. The tracks appeared in a straight line, crossing fields, towns, and even rivers. They looked like they were made by a cloven hoof similar to a devil's footprint, which led to the name. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment below.